Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you all had a great day. Yep. So we'll be starting the session in like next 1 minute. Let everyone join the session. Yep. So I feel like everyone is here, and I hope you all are able to see my screen and hear my voice. Just type I can in your chat box if you're able to see my screen and hear my voice. Type I can. Okay, super, great. Right, so let's start with the session now. So yesterday we discussed a couple of things about on-page optimization. We discussed few things wherein we discuss the major elements which are content and the basic on-page and crawling and uh, other related stuff which are really very important when you actually begin with your on-page optimization strategies, right? So we discussed about couple of things, a few technical things about URL structure. We discussed about some architecture part as well, right? So we discussed about the URL thing. Apart from that, we will start today. We'll be understanding about all these in detail, and followed by we'll be also moving ahead with some technical SEO related things, and we'll be doing it practically on our website as well. Right. So so to start with, so far what we have covered as of now, you'll be able to. I'll just walk you through. We'll be able to find on this link and the on-page technical optimization. Apart from that, you'll be able to check other things. Just go through the recordings once you receive them. So I have told you each and everything in a brief manner, right? So let's begin with yesterday. So we were discussing about the crawling part. Let's now talk a bit about the speed and the other analysis which are really very important in terms of when you are moving ahead with your SEO journey, right? So I'll just create a new sheet. For 1 second. Yep. All right. So I'll be taking the query session at the end. If you guys are having any query related to assignments or any other thing, I'll be discussing about that as well in the end of the class. So wait till the end if you have any queries related to that. Right. So, speed. So we were discussing about the speed analysis. See, guys, page speed analysis is a very complicated task. Let me write down. Yeah. Page speed analysis. If your page is not opening, whether you are doing SEO, whether you are running ads, or whether anyone is coming directly on your website, it will be of no use, right? So page speed analysis is altogether a different like aspect, which is like at the back end area of your SEO, right? So your website should have adequate amount of page speed. So page speed is how fast your entire page loads. So faster pages rank faster, they convert better in a proper manner, right? So what people actually do when they are moving ahead with page speed analysis, the first thing they compromise with is the hosting part, right? The hosting plays a crucial role when it comes to your page speed analysis, right? So domain, we purchase domain, we go ahead with hosting. If your hosting servers are not good, so what do I mean by good? So that means if you're going ahead with shared servers, or if you're going ahead with some dedicated server, or you are going ahead with some cloud VPS server, virtual private servers. So you have to choose between them. So what happens, I hope you all know about these three things: shared, dedicated, and cloud VPS. So just type yes if you have knowledge about the hosting. I hope every you all, when you all did your website thing, you might be having knowledge about that. Your trainer might have told you about these things. So just type yes if you know about the hosting thing. Anyone? Okay. Just type yes or no if you know about the types of hosting which we have. Okay, all right. Okay, no issues. No, not at all. Uh, I'll brief you about these three things. So basically, you know what hosting, everyone knows about that. That before, like making to make your website live, you need to save the content on your website. You need to have a web hosting, website hosting, right? So basically, what happens over here? There are three types of server, which is like shared, dedicated, and cloud VPS. So what happens in shared hosting? Let's say, just hold on for a second. Guys, just hold on for a second. Right. Yep. So what happens with shared, dedicated, and cloud VPS? So let's say you have a building, right? So you want to rent a building, and yeah, what happens actually when you go there? Either you pick one or two office, or either you pick the whole building. So what's the difference? Let's say you want to take a floor, or you want to take the whole building for rent, or maybe you want to virtually take some space outside your building. So these three aspects are being integrated. So I'll explain you now what do I actually mean. So what happens in shared hosting? Let's say you take the building, you have taken a small office in that building, right? That is a shared space with other offices. Similarly, let's say you want to dedicatedly have a whole floor for yourself. So what happens there? You have your whole floor. Let's say there are 10 or 20 offices over there. You own those offices. And what happens in cloud VPS? Let's say you have an event and you want to pull up, let's say 200, 300 participants over there. You have to rent out other buildings as well. So instead of like taking the whole space for a whole month, you ask the uh, landlord that I want this space for some time, right? So this is basically happens. Shared hosting is basically you have multiple domains and in one particular server. In dedicated hosting, what happens? One domain and one server. Cloud VPS, you can switch to different servers as per the requirements. So these are the basic things which you have to analyze when you are taking this hosting part. So what happened when it comes when if I connect this with SEO, the super important element, whether you are doing SEO, whether you are doing paid ads, or whether you are doing anything, what actually happens over here, you have to figure out what exactly do you need, what exactly do you move on with. So if you go ahead with shared hosting, what happens? You are sharing the space with other people. So if there is ample amount of traffic coming to your website, then it might be some issues. So people face some the website is not working at times, or maybe the speed is slow, the website is not like the loading time is like maybe more than 2 to 3 or 5 seconds or 10 seconds, right? So in shared hosting there might be those complications. In dedicated you have your own space and you are ruling that thing. So comparatively, what I would suggest, when you are going ahead with hosting, you should go ahead with VPS clouds or maybe dedicated server. So this is the first and the number one important task when you have when you are like planning to move ahead with your website SEO, right? Check with your hosting whether it is like you're having a good server, and the type of server, that is also crucial. Apart from that, what all things are important when it comes to page speed analysis, right? So these are the two important things which I'll be listing down, which is again a super important thing. One is size of the page, and the second thing is the server response time. Yes, Amazon, your EC2 is, I hope so, you all did with EC2. Yeah, so it has a 12 months free tier, and they have somewhere around 750 hours of free time they are giving to you, anyone who is coming on your website, right? So it's kind of a free thing for the beginners. It is good for beginners if you're hosting your WordPress on EC2 on AWS, like via instance. So it's totally up to you. Amazon is like really, really a great server comparing with other platform, right? But they charge when you are having like ample amount of users on your website or maybe any other app or any other platform, right? So if you're just beginning with a blog or something, you can obviously go ahead with Amazon, and I hope so you were like told to host your website on Amazon only. So don't worry about Amazon. They have all these structure in place, right? So if you're having it on AWS, don't worry, you are on the right track, right? So now the size of the page is again a super important thing, right? Not only the server, apart from that, when it comes to SEO, you need to figure out these things as well. So size of the page, you have to reduce the size of your pages, right? So how we can reduce that? There are few things which we do on our website. We have to control them all the time, right? For example, let's say you have images on your website. You have to see that the images which I am using, are they optimized? If not, you have to optimize the size of those images. So for example, if you have like full high resolution images and you are using them on your website, so what complications you might face, that the images are not loading. And if Google checks that, they will like not pick your website for better ranking, right? So these are a couple of things which you, these are some minute details which people don't focus when it comes to SEO, right? So but how you can optimize the images, that is a big question. So you have to use smaller size images comparatively if you can. If you cannot, let's say you already have a website. Mostly people have their website, and after let's say 1 or 2 years, they plan to do SEO. Maybe. So let's say I have everything in place on my website. Now I want to proceed with SEO on my on WordPress. So how will I proceed? I'll check that whether the images on those website are optimized or not. So for that, what you can do, you can use image compressor. So there are plenty of image compressor which will help you reduce the size of your images as well, right? So there are WordPress plugins which will help you reduce the size of your image. Let's say your image size is 200 MB, you can reduce down it to like few MB or less than the actual one, right? So WordPress image compressors, just go to WordPress and you can search for this plugin in the plugin tab, and you'll be able to look into this plugin and use this plugin. uh, they will affect a bit, but digitally if I tell you, they won't reduce it to like less than 150 dpi. Dpi is the quality of that image, right? Dots per inch, right? So what happens when you pixelate anything, obviously it will distort the image, but when it comes with this plugin, it will arrange it for digital format, so you guys don't have to worry about that your images are pixelated or anything related to that. Right. Yeah. So apart from that, this is the front end thing which I'll be telling you next, right? So these are a couple of front end languages, which is your HTML, your CSS, and the third one is your JS, JavaScript, right? So anybody knows any of these languages? Just type yes or no. Do you have any idea? I'm talking just about the front end. PHP is a server-side scripting language. Okay, no issues. So basically, how your website on WordPress is built, the front end which user sees is designed with HTML, CSS is cascading style sheets, and JavaScript. The front end, the user interface which a user actually sees, is being developed with these three languages. And at the back end, the server side scripting is PHP, right? So these are some WordPress related things which you might have been told in your WordPress session. If not, don't worry, I'll just give you an overview. So let's say when you design a website, the first thing what you do, you need to check the placement of each and everything, what exactly what content you have to upload on your website. Accordingly you design that I want a logo, I want the menu over here, I want the text over here, I want the images over here. So the basic layout is written on this with this language HTML, right? After that, CSS helps in the designing of the website. I want to add some fonts, I want to add some change some colors, I want to add this and that. And then JS helps in the placement. Let's say you have a home and you want to structure the home in a better way, just like you want to structure your website. So let's say I want to have that sofa in that corner, I want to have that television in that corner, or maybe I want to have this painting in this wall. That is being done by JavaScript. Homepage is the front page of the website, right? So These are the combination of languages which helps you create your website. And after that, what so again, you don't have to learn this because WordPress is again a great CMS, content management system, which will help you do this and in a better way. As a layman, you can don't have to like indulge into these languages. If you want, you can go ahead with that. It's up to you. Right. So, but what you have to do for this in SEO, that is again the agenda of this class, right? We are not doing the language course, right? So, what happens over here? You have to analyze that the coding is in a proper way. So to check that, I have already told you about some tools like GT metrics. It will help you analyze whether uh, your website has adequate strategy. I'll just show you the tool first. GT metrics. So I believe I have shown you in the previous classes as well. Right, so yeah, so I'll just like directly connect with the example and I'll just help you with that. Let's say, let's use some other website today. Let's use this one. Right, so it is fetching the site. Just give me a moment. Right, so you can see that it takes 5 seconds to load this website. You can see the page size as well. It is good, not the best. The page load time is like okay, it should be somewhere around 2 to 3 seconds. Then you can see at the bottom, these are some code related things: HTML, CSS. So Minify CSS is perfectly it's okay. It's 81. So the red signals is like JavaScript. What is this Minify thing? Minify is basically you are removing some unnecessary codes. So whenever you write something in code, HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, there might be some unnecessary spaces, commas, and other unnecessary characters, right? To minify them, we have some plugins to do that. We don't have to put a mind in the coding part. You have the plugins to do it, right? So so to minify all these three things, HTML, CSS, and JS, you have to use a plugin on WordPress, which is YUI compressor. So again, this is a plugin on WordPress. This will help you minify your code. Right, so this plugin, it will eventually help you in minifying the code. And after that, you can also enable the compression as well. So what do I mean by compression? So there might be some codes which has larger files than maybe 150 byte or 200 byte or maybe any of these. So you can compress those files, make it shorter, and use those space for your SEO thing, right? So what Google checks, they check your images, they check your code, are they written in a proper way? If you can compress it, perfectly fine, minify it, right? Compress it, minify it, and you're all good to go without the knowledge of having the coding part, right? So to enable the compression, you have like one plugin. Yeah, the plugin name is gzip. So again, it's a WordPress plugin. It will help you compress the file size of your HTML, CSS, or JS, right? So you can use this gzip. gzip plugin. And if you want to do all the things which I have mentioned right now, you have another plugin to compress, to minify the code and to compress. There is one short plugin which is W3 Total Cache. This plugin does all your work if you don't want to have separate plugins to execute over here, right? So with the help of these plugins, you can execute and enable all these stuff, right? So this was basically the size of the page which you have to maintain, and you have to enable them so that you are like your website is not lagging behind and the size of the page is less. You can see this, I have shown you in GT metrics. You can check the size of the page over here. It is 2.8 MB, right? So to reduce, use this size of the page algorithms which I have told you, the plugins which I have told you, and execute them, right? I hope I'm clear with this. Just type clear in your chat box. Okay, I hope it is clear with everyone. No, they don't hamper the page structure. They don't hamper the page structure. You don't have to worry about that. They maintain each and everything. Yeah, that's the reason I'm telling you, right? Don't worry about that. And Abhishek, what you are not clear, just let me know. Okay, so basically, in simple language, I have just told you to reduce the size of your page. The images, the code which is there on your website, you have to reduce the size of those things. For images, to reduce the size, use this plugin on WordPress. To compress the code and minify the code and to compress it, you can use these plugin. That's it. This is the thing which I have told. Use W3 Total Cache to check whether you don't have blotted code, big files, or maybe some unnecessary characters in your code. You can use these plugin. You can just use this single plugin W3 Total Cache. And to minify or sorry to reduce the size or optimize your images, use this plugin. So these are the two important plugins which I have told you, which you guys can use when you are executing your reducing your page size, right? Simply. So I hope it is clear now. Yeah, it is for mobile version as well, obviously, because WordPress is like whatever themes you pick on WordPress, they are device optimized, whether you use it on desktop, tablet, or mobile device. It's totally up to you. They are already implemented on all the structures, so you don't have to worry on that. Then the second most important part, server response time. It is also, yeah, welcome. It is also an important part because this you can do on your website, but this you have to check whether you are doing it in a proper way or not. So how you can reduce this timing, the server response time? One is browser caching. So browser caching, lots and lots of files are stored. Everyone knows about the cookies and all that stuff you store. You go to any website, the information is stored over here. It is directly stored in the server. So if you want to have a quick and a like speedy website, you have to do this thing all the time. And this W3 Total Cache plugin does this perfectly fine, your browser caching thing, right? You can remove the cookies as well. Then reduce the redirects. The second thing. So what is this reduce redirect? So at times it might happen, but Google and the search engine has implicated that whenever your, let's say your website is on downtime, or maybe you are planning for a revamp, or maybe you're just redirecting from one page to another, don't unnecessarily do this thing. Don't redirect the user unnecessary on different other platforms. What will eventually happen, you will be able to like what Google will see, that this user is like eventually throwing the user from one page to another, right? So use it when it is required. Let's say you are having a downtime for some time, you want to redirect the user who are coming to one page, and you don't want to show that page, redirect the user to the other page. So you can use this, you can do this with the help of, again, some WordPress plugins, right? So there is one redirection plugin which will help you do this thing when you want to redirect the user to some other URL. Let's say example, I have a service page which is related to website designing, right? So what I want don't want to throw the user to the website designing page. Instead, when someone comes to that page, they should be redirected to the contact page or maybe any other page, right? So having too many hyperlinks, like Ronak, it is not like you should have too many hyperlinks, nothing like that. But obviously, it will hamper your website. But in our home page, we have multiple hyperlinks, right? Home, about us, contact us. So these are all hyperlinks. One user goes from one page to another page, and it is interconnected, right? So at in some pages, it is okay, but don't unnecessarily put multiple hyperlinks in one para. Again, this is also an algorithm in the terms of search engine, that they check that as well, right? And Sarthak is asking, does more links in blogs increase its SEO results? So more links, again, same question, hyperlinks. So it is not like what type of link is important. What is type of link? You should have internal links and external links. What is internal links? Google checks that, search engine checks that whether you are using internal or external links more or not, right? So what happens, if someone comes to your website, they read the para. If you are giving one link of any internal pages of your website in that particular blog, right, what will happen, that will be categorized as internal links. And I'll give you a perfect example for your external links. Wikipedia, right? So we can give the links on any of the blog. I hope you understood in website class how to add a hyperlink in our para in WordPress. We can do that in WordPress. I'll show you. I will be doing it in our content. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so external pages are similarly just like Wikipedia, but you guys don't have to give external links. What is external links? Let's say I'm writing a blog, and in between I've given a hyperlink to some other website, not my website. If it was my website, then it will be an internal link. If it was for some other website, let's say you guys came to my websites, and from my website you have gone to some other website by clicking on a link which I have provided, so that will be considered as a external link, right? So yeah, internal pages, okay. So it has to be in proportion, not unlike Wikipedia, though you don't have to give multiple amount of hyperlinks because that is their business. You can do that. This hampers the quality of your website. It hampers your SEO quality as well. Yes, absolutely. So no, that does not mean you don't have to give. I haven't told you that you have to push more internal or external links. You have to use them in a proper way, right? The proper way I'll be telling you the moment we'll be doing the content part, right? What should be the adequate, what is the length of the paragraph, how many keywords you should use. We'll be discussing all through in the upcoming modules as well, right? So don't worry about that, right? Till now, just understand what all things are important. Don't go uh, directly to the execution part. I'll be telling you each and everything. First, let's understand each and everything, and then we can move ahead with that so that you can connect with that thing when you are doing it on your website, right? Then comes, so these are some couple of important things which I have told you, and which eventually helps you in like increasing your page speed in a proper way, right? So these are a couple of things which you have to use on your website. Apart from that, so this was the page speed analysis. Now let's go to the other aspects which are again important. But before that, I want you all to go to your WordPress. Let's execute one thing, then we can proceed with the further things. So what you guys have to do, go to your WordPress, log into your WordPress panel, and you have to go to plugins area, add a new plugin. Now we'll be discussing about what plugins you have to use when you are doing your on-page optimization, right? So once you are over here, see, whenever you are doing on-page optimization, whatever things I have told you, you have to execute that on our website, right? So to execute all these things on our website, you have to take help of a plugin. So I'll be telling you two plugins which are super important, and they are the renowned plugins when you are doing on page optimization for your website. So these are the two plugins. One is Yoast SEO. This is one of the best tools that is being used by anyone who is working on WordPress and they are doing SEO. They are using this tool for for sure, right? So Yoast SEO is a great tool whether you are having a normal basic website or whether you are having an e-commerce store, right? So or maybe a blog, right? So this plugin works really amazing when it comes to the SEO part. The second plugin is all-in-one SEO pack. This is an alternative plugin. It is used for basic website, informative website, right? You can use this plugin, but I would always recommend go with Yoast SEO as it is the perfect plugin for your SEO journey, right? So now let's go to our WordPress panel, and I want you all to come and open a tab in your window and just log into WordPress. So what we have to do, we have to go to plugins area and you have to install a plugin. Let's go to plugins and add new, and you have to set up that plugin before you use it, right? So that plugin is Yoast SEO, so we'll be using Yoast SEO. So let's search for this plugin. So it's not updated, so you'll be able to find install now, and then you have to activate. So once you are done, once you have installed and once you have this plugin, you can check it out whether it is activated or not. You can go to installed plugins under the hood plugins, and you have to search for this plugin, Yoast SEO, right? So you have to activate this plugin, right? So I hope you all have installed and activated this plugin. Once you are done, then you have to go to this. On the left side you'll be able to find this SEO tab. On the left side of your WordPress dashboard, click on this SEO tab, and you have to set up this plugin right now. So after you click over here, you'll be able to see this first time SEO configuration. Just click on configuration wizard hyperlink which is in front of you. Right. So this is the configuration wizard in front of you. I'll walk you through these steps. These are mandatory steps which you have to implement before you use this plugin. So the first thing which is this platform is asking you is please specify if your site is under construction or already active. In any case, whether your website is ready or not, there are two options. One is option A, my site is live and ready to be indexed. This is the case when your website is ready. And the second option is my website is under construction, right? So in any case, whether your website is ready or not, you will be selecting the option A, because if you select the option B, like search engines won't be able to crawl your site or maybe crawl the index of your site, right? So what you have to choose here is pick the option A, my site is live and ready to be indexed, and go ahead with the next option. Click on the next button. Whether your website is ready or not, select the option A. Then what does this website represents, which on which you are installing this Yoast SEO? So here you have to give your category of your website, which is like what exactly your business is all about, or maybe you just have a blog or an online e-commerce store or whatever, right? So over here you have to mention all the details. Just select it, and if you are like not able to figure out what exactly your website is, select something else. So in my case, I'll just select a small offline let's say like this one, an online shop, and click on next option. Right. After that, it is asking you for a couple of details over here, which is whether you are doing this for your organization, whether this website is for an organization or just an individual person. Select whatever you have the option, right? And whatever is the case, just select that option. If your organization, give your logo and other details of your organization, right? And move ahead with the next step. Right, once you're done, click on next. And over here you have to select the couple of other posts. Like, so what exactly is this window is all about? You have to tell the search engine what exactly you want to, like, so for example, let's say my website is on Google search engine, right? So what's the next step? I will tell Google that I want this page on Google. I will tell Google that I want this post or blog on Google. So that is in my control. So this is the section where you have to choose what exactly will be visible on Google, right? So obviously, whenever you are moving ahead with any website, the posts are super important. Click on yes. The pages are super important. Click on yes. And these all sections will might also appear according to the themes which you are using, right? So no problem, Sarthak. You can do it later on. It's not mandatory to do it right now. You can check out the recordings and you can do it at your own pace. No problem with any of you guys, right? So don't worry about that. You'll be getting the recordings. So Just watch out what I am doing, right? Don't worry about that. Yeah, so this is what I told. You might not get all these options, but these two are the fixed option which is visible. These options depends upon the themes which you are using on WordPress. So don't worry about these options. Just select the major settings, or it is by default selected yes, so you don't have to worry, and click on next option. So we are executing SEO in a proper way now, so you guys have to do it later on. Otherwise, you won't be able to perform your on-page optimization on your website, right? So now let's go to this step, multiple authors. So it is asking you, does your website has multiple authors or not? What is multiple authors? So let's say you are doing creating your own blog for, let's say, let's take my example. I want to plan a fashion business and I have zero knowledge about that business. Or maybe I want to start a fashion blog and I have zero knowledge about that fashion blog or anything about fashion. So what will happen eventually? I have to hire someone to do that, obviously, right? So here it is asking you whether you want to hire some multiple authors who will write your blogs. If yes, select yes. If no, select no. If you will be only writing them, just select no and click on the next option. This is again a super important thing, title settings. What is this title settings? Let's go to Google. No, it will not affect, but it will take it in that category, right? It won't affect much, but these are small things which turn out into a big like issue when you are not performing all these stuff. That's why people said my website is not ranking on Google on any keyword. Why? Because you haven't followed these steps, right? So people don't like like change these settings mm, back to back. So you have to, it's a one time job. It's like if you are following all these stuff, your SEO will be in a, like your ranking of your website will be in a better way, right? So talking about this title settings, what is this title settings? So if you select yes, what will happen? It will eventually like feel like that you will be hiring some author and they will be writing, and there will be some duplicate content as well. So so you can select either of them, but maybe in future if you hire someone that might also change, but you can go ahead with no right now. You can change it at any point in time, so don't worry about that, right? So I was showing you the example of title setting. The next settings which is in place now is your title setting. But what is this title setting? Let's check that practically. I'll enter, let's say, buy sunglass online. So if I scroll down, so this is the title of your page, the blue hyperlinks which is visible on Google. So we will be editing something like this on our website also. This is a snippet of your website. Right. So Google wants this snippet. We are performing on page. We have to create these snippets which is in front of you. Lenskart has created the snippet which is in front of you. We will also be doing for our website. So don't worry. So coming back to the topic, we were discussing about the title settings. What is this title settings? Can you see this Mantra sunglasses? Then it is using this hyphen or dash, whatever you call. So basically to separate the line in your title settings, you use these title setting on your website. So you can use this dash, you can use this straight line, you can use a dot. Majorly what is used renowned is this dash majorly, and some people also use this straight line as well. So it's up to you for like whatever decision you take, and accordingly go ahead with that. It won't hamper or it won't affect anything, but it is just a title separator, and it will be displayed in your snippet of your page, and it will be by default like pushed into all the pages whatever title separator you choose. Give the website name, you can give your website domain name over here, or it will automatically pick up from the theme just like it did from for this website, right? And after that, just then if you don't want to use it, by default this dash will appear. It is standard, we can't do anything. Yeah, right, then click on next. So you are all set now to use this plugin. Give your email over here if you want to. Just check out these if you want to. Otherwise, we'll be doing them obviously. Right? You can. This is a free version of Yoast SEO. You can go ahead with a paid version, but not now. You can buy it later on, but there are immense benefits of that particular paid version, premium version of yours. In future, if you are doing SEO aggressively, then you must use the paid version. uh, whole website name will change. For what you are talking, let me just go back. Okay, so no, so yeah, it is for the whole website. Not name will change. I'm not telling you the name. I'm telling you this hyphen thing that will change. The title setting, title name will only change. Nothing else will change. This dash, I can replace it with straight line. That is the only difference. You can see there might be some straight line. Yeah, see this one, they are using a straight line to separate it. So whether you can you if you want to use a dash or maybe a straight line, that's the choice we have to make in that particular URL setting, or not URL setting, basically your title setting, right? So it will only change the hyphen thing, nothing else. Yeah, so you have to contact the developer of the website who is like doing your front end thing, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You have to connect with them. Just tell them you have to add these things in on page. You have to add that thing in on page. I'll be telling you what all things you have to add. So if your WordPress like website is not on WordPress, you have to ask your developer to input all these stuff. So we haven't gone to that step right now. We will be discussing that in the upcoming modules, that what exactly you have to put in Yoast SEO. Just we have just installed this setting, right? We'll be using it in our website. So now once you are done, click on next, go to next session, and you're done with this, and close the setting, right? So what is happening over here, what you have done so far, you have installed, you have configured SEO, on page SEO tool on your website, and you are good to go now. Now let's understand about a couple of things which are important here, which is I have already told you about the redirect link. We'll be continuing with Yoast SEO after some time. We'll be implementing what we are learning directly on our website, but after some time. But let's first understand what all things are important, right? Before understanding what all things are important, you can't jump into the website and do all the stuff, right? Obviously, first let's understand the major, the minor things which are important, and then we can go ahead with that. So after that, you also have to check some broken links of your website. So at time, so you might have seen when you click on a link that is you supposed to take you somewhere, but instead it takes you somewhere else and shows a 404 error message link. So this is a broken link, right? So what you can do, you can use some tools to check whether your website is having those broken links. 404 error means your page is missing, or maybe there might be some other errors apart from that. So these are some broken links. So we have some tools to check those broken links. So I'll be telling you one tool. One second. Yeah. So the website is smallseo.com / websites broken check. Right. So with the help of this tool, I'm just sharing in the chat box as well. You can check the broken links of any website. So I'll enter some URL. It's 9 o'clock. And samples. Mm, you press enter. So Google will tell you the reason if they have stopped crawling in the search console. They will tell you over there. So it is analyzing right now. Let it do its work. And by the time, you can go to any website. You can just go and type on Google, just enter broken link checker or maybe broken link analyzer. You'll be able to see that, right? So don't worry about that. So whatever links you see over here, you just have to remove those links so that there are no further errors on your website. And because Google checks all these stuff, that whether you are having some 404 page, but so if you don't want to go this deeper in SEO, what you can do, you can buy the Yoast premium version. They will remove all the 404 errors or maybe any other page which is like having some conflict. So these plugins are already integrated with those things and you don't have to worry about that. Right. So I hope I'm clear with this. Just type clear in your chat box. Uh, so Ronak, this does not have external hyperlinks. So for what you are talking about, Ronak, what exactly you are talking about? Right. So it is not showing right now. You can use any other, so it might be loading. That's the reason it's not showing. They will check that, but again, your it like Google checks your website. They don't check any internal or external link because that is some separate website. Internal link they will check, but external links they won't check. So you can only remove your website link. You can't remove any someone else's website link. Yeah, Vikram, it might happen. They remove it, so don't worry. We'll be using like the next thing which we'll be implementing right now. We'll be executing with that search console thing. We'll be uploading sitemaps so your website are visible on Google. Don't worry, we are doing the next step, moving ahead with that only. Right. So let's now move ahead and let's now understand how you have to implement all these stuff. So just one moment. So now let's go to Search Console and let's submit our website to Google. So I'll just go to Search Console. So I hope everyone has connected the Search Console yesterday, and that's the reason I have told you yesterday only that you have to connect all these things. Right, so you have to click on Start Now, you have to connect. Right, so the moment you have like connected your website with Search Console, some window like this will appear, right? So as I told you yesterday about the sitemaps, the HTML and XML sitemaps. So what you guys have to do, you have to submit your sitemaps over here so that Google can analyze the wireframe of your website and they can move ahead and store all the information accordingly. So you have to submit your sitemaps. So you have to click on this tab, sitemaps, on the left side, and your domain will appear over here. So under sitemaps, your domain will appear over here. You have to mention your domain forward slash, one second, sitemap.xml. So as I told you yesterday about the XML thing, so once you're done, just click on submit, and it will eventually like submit your sitemap, and you are done. You'll be notified. So this is the first process which you have to do once you like are ready to go ahead with you, and you have to submit your sitemap over here, right. So you all have to do this process, and the first time once you log into this Google Search Console. So this is a dashboard basically where we invite Google on our website, as I already told you yesterday. Now, the second thing what you have to execute over here is the URL inspection. So you have to like enter your domain name over here. So in my case, I'll pick this domain name. This is, yeah, one second. So I'll go to URL inspection. So what we are doing now, we have submitted sitemap earlier. Now we are going ahead and checking whether our site is there on Google or not. So yesterday I told you about the code site colon your domain name, and you'll be able to see your website. So today we'll be actually checking it over here whether our website is available or not. So I'll just write it down because it's not copying and pasting. www.test.online. Right, and just press enter. Yeah, because it is not connected, Vikram. It is just a demo website, just to show you guys. That's the reason it is showing could not fetch. Right, so this domain was already there on Google. So URL is on Google. You can see this. If at times it might also show you that URL is not on Google. So, and the coverage, it is not indexed, not submitted. Sitemap is not also submitted. Sitemap is basically the structure of your website, right? The pages, blogs, and other stuff. Then whether it is mobile optimized, mobile friendly or not, site links are there or not. So these are related to schema. We'll be doing it in the next module. Right. So if you are like, if you can see, we are showing you the site is URL is not on Google. Don't worry about that because maybe you have created the website recently. Don't worry. If it's already there on Google, then also don't worry because Google's at times pick few elements from your website and then show it on over there on their search engine. So don't worry in any of the case. So we will be requesting Google from here. You can see I'm highlighting request indexing over here. That means you have to submit your website once you are done with on-page optimization. Don't submit it right now. We will be doing it once we have thoroughly completed our on-page optimization journey, and we will be asking Google, now our website is SEO ready. You can come on our website and crawl our website. Then this thing will appear that URL is on Google over here, right? So this is the step we'll be doing it later on, right? Till the time you just submit the site maps, and this is the thing which we need right now, right? So far what we have covered, I hope it is clear. The sitemap related thing, just type clear in your chat box if you understood about the sitemap thing and the URL indexing thing. Just type clear. If you have any queries, you can ask me. Okay, I don't think so. It's complicated. It's easy. So Pragya is asking, I have created the website long ago, but why it's showing the URLs not on Google? Yeah, because Google has not crawled your website yet. They haven't crawled it, so you have to submit it. Then it will be visible. So you don't have to worry about that. But yes, Pragya, once your website is ready, you can submit from this section, which is request indexing, by clicking here. Then after some time, Google will crawl your website. So the ranking takes some time, as I already told you guys, but your URL will be visible on Google, right? So I hope it is clear with everyone now. Okay, great, superb. Right. Yes, correct. So don't do it right now. Let's complete on-page optimization. This is what I did not clicked on request indexing. Don't do it right now. Just for your knowledge, whenever in future you want to submit your website, you have to come over here and click on request indexing. Don't do it right now. Let's complete on-page in the upcoming modules. So then after that, I'll be only telling you what you have to do and when. So don't worry about that. So coming over here on the content completion part, so far what we have covered. So I'll be also giving, as you know, at the end of the week I give quiz and assignments to work on with. So here is your quiz. You have to complete this. There are a couple of questions. You can do it at your home. And if you have any queries related to the first assignment, don't worry about that. You will be also getting the recordings. It takes time to convert the recordings. You can see I have already told you. So don't worry about that. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that, about SSL, HTTP, and HTTPS as well. You will get the recordings. It is converting. It might take some time, a day or two. It takes time because it's not in my hand. It's like it takes time to convert, right? So the moment it is done, I share it with the DV team and they share it with you. So don't worry about that. You will get the recordings. But if you stay attentive over here, you will miss nothing, right? So that's how it works. So you have to complete this quiz. Then let's go to the next topic. So you have to download the template of this assignment. So once you click here, you'll be able to download the week 2 assignment. And what you have to do in the assignment, you can see in the next topic. So the task one, on page audit of your website. So I'll be telling you a couple of things over here as well. So the first step, check and review all the pages. This is the first thing which we have discussed. You whether you are picking the correct keywords. We have already installed this Ghost SEO thing, which I have already told you. You can check the broken link. I've already told you another platform to check that. And we also discussed this Google page, Speed Insight, GT Metrics, and Google tool for analysis in our previous classes as well. So just this is the task one which you have to do. Once complete, click on mark complete and go to the next topic. So task two, you have to optimize your blog. You have to check the URLs. So everything is written over here that what you have to perform. This includes short keywords. This we discussed in last title with keyword, right? So we also discussed title. So there are some blog posts with. So this will be doing in next class. The execution of on page will be doing in next class on our website. Image optimization, I have told you a couple of plugins to do that. Responsive, we already have a WordPress responsive design. The images which you use engaging images, videos, and make sure that they don't the page speed, the page size. Make sure the size is not like it's not more. If that is more, then use some plugins to reduce the size, right? So this is your V2 step 2 assignment. And next topic, yeah, so robot.txt is basically the command, Nida. So it's basically a command. So in that command, we some, let's say I want to tell Google that I don't want this page to be indexed by Google and rank this page. So then I have to give the command via this txt file, right? So to for that we have to use our website, and we can give the command from the Yoast plugin as well. So we'll be completing that as well. So basically, to give command to Google search engine, we use this txt file. Basically, it's a file to give commands. Right. I hope I'm clear. Yep. Right. So then upload this assignment. That's it. We'll be executing the practical things. One or two things, like practical things, will be covering in our next week module. So you have time for that. Just cover up these two assignments. These are not big assignments. It's so easy. We haven't started executing. So these are just the theoretical and the content part, right? So we have already discussed a couple of things about the content part as well. So you must complete all these assignment and submit over here. And if you are having any queries, you can just mail me and I'll be happy to help you out. So meta description will be doing with the help of Yoast SEO, right? That this is what we'll be covering in the practical session. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, so I'm sharing my email ID. If you have any query, anything related to any topic, just mail me up. I'll be happy to help you. All right, now I am open to query sessions. So yeah, so if you have any doubt, just ask me. Just yeah, Nida, yes. I'm open to query session. You guys can ask me on week one assignment. Yeah. So just 1 second. I'll open the week one assignment. Then we go to courses. I'll answer one by one. Just hold on. Yeah. So which task do you want me to open here? Until the time I can answer Vikram, my site is showing this issue on Search Console. URL is on go, but has issue. It can appear. Yes, don't worry, Vikram. The issues which I'll be telling you in yours, just figure out that, and your website will be up and running. So don't worry about that. Open the template. Okay, so do you want me to download this week one assignment and check the open the template? This is what you're asking, Nida. YouTube video as well, Khadeja. Okay, just 1 second. Yes, tell me, what's your query? Okay. Okay. So this is your issue. Okay, no problem. So what you have to do in the second option, create mind map. So your main category, let's say electronics is over here. But under electronics, you have smartphones, you have laptops, PCs, headphones, televisions, home audio, cameras, wearable. So just like you can see for smartphones, yeah, so under your mind map will be you will be entering health food over here, and under this you can mention the subcategories. Health food may be related to some diet food, some nutra related things, some green coffee or anything. So you have to create, understand the brand, understand the like smartphone, like under this smartphone, let's say you have a health food thing. So you mention health food in the beginning in the mind map. Under this, let's say you have something like oats, example for your health food. So under that oats, what all things are important? What all pages are there inside that food section, right? That you have to mention over here, right? Maybe something related to like masala oat, or maybe the subcategories you have to mention. This is the mind map. You have to bifurcate each and every product which you have, the each and every category which you have, right? This is a basic mind map. My mind map is simply from one thing you are, let's say I'll take an example of electronics only. From electronics, they have, under electronics they have smartphones. So under smartphone, they have the brand which is there for that smartphone, the camera, the price of that smartphone, the battery, the memory of that smartphone. Similarly, you have to do it with your any health related food, right? It's the same thing, right? I hope it is clear now. Yep, welcome. Right, any other query? Anyone? Right, so you guys have to complete this, and again, at last, I hope the session was good. I hope you like this session. Perfect, great. So I appreciate this. Again, I'll request you all just practice. That is the only thing, right? I have already given you a link. First, please submit the feedback of this session as well. And if you guys don't practice, then nothing will happen, right? So I always say, just practice, practice, practice. Then only you'll be able to meet up your the any topic, not only SEO, any of the modules, right? So I request you all to give the feedback in this link which I have shared. I would appreciate, and it would be a push for me as well as you. Thank you for the session. Thank you for your comments. It's great to hear that you like the session. Great, thanks a lot. Right, so the next session is important where we'll be executing our SEO practically on with the help of Yoast, which we installed today, and we'll be also using couple of tools as well in the next session. Okay, great. I appreciate that. Please fill out the review. The feedback link I have already shared. And it was a great session with you all. And see you guys next week. And by the time, take care, stay home, stay safe as much as possible. Take care. Bye bye.